नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों, आई होप यू हैव सीन द लास्ट टू पॉडकास्ट सीरीज विद मेजर जनरल पीके बत्रा, where he had talked about his experiences up to the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War, where he participated as a squadron commander of the 45 Cavalry Regiment. In the next part of this podcast series, he will be talking about the rest of his experiences in the Indian Armed Forces, including commanding a brigade against the Chinese forces, including commanding a brigade in the 1980s, the very popular Chindit brigade, being from the Armored Corps, against a possible Chinese intrusion जिसके लिए उनको अति विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल से सम्मानित किया गया था. Also, we will be knowing a bit about his own perspectives in serving in the Indian Army. So let's welcome Major General PK Batra to our program today.
After the 71 war and the rest of your life in the armed forces, could you talk a bit about that, sir? As far as I know, you had been also put a lot of your effort and service against the Chinese as a brigade commander. So I would like to know a bit about that part as well, sir. So after 71 war, what was your duty and how was your promotion as per the service in the armed forces?
You know, if I narrate all this and you put it on paper, people will laugh also. They will think that I'm trying to build myself. No, it's not that. There's nothing to build. There's nothing, you know. Well, anyway, so we moved from there. I'll give you in very brief. We moved from my squadron. I moved to Kanshapara. From Kanshapara, we got these trains and we landed up at Bhatinda. From Bhatinda, I was moved to Suratgarh.
Okay.
That is part of the desert. And at Suratgarh, I was again immediately called to the Div headquarters. I'm forgetting the Div, which do forgive me. You know, at that point of time, we were totally traveling and everything was happening so much. So I went there. They told me that there is a position which has been held by the Pakis, and 18th Cavalry, I remember, was one regiment which was with them. They said, we will try to capture this position. Now that you are war-blooded, we want you to capture this position. I said, sir, war-blooded doesn't mean that I am paid for fighting all wars. I said, sir, have you seen my tanks? I am in a PT-76. Here you've got Shermans lined up there. If Shermans are not going to put in attack, you expect PT-76 to attack. I said, sir, it's not being ridiculous. So anyway, they didn't like my language, whatever it was, and nor was I bothered at that point of time. So we just stopped there for a while. It's, you know, God's grace that just as this was happening, the message came that Pakistanis had surrendered and the war had ended there. Otherwise, we would have been fighting another battle on these sand dunes. Luckily, we got saved. From there, then we came back, and the whole regiment as such, we were concentrated there. We started getting hold of everything, but, you know, whatever had happened was checked, whatever had not, then, you know, you carry out a normal, proper check of everything. Started sending people on short leaves and things like that, because people have been away. People are sent on leave. After my squad boys all have finished their leave, I went on leave myself for 6-7 days. And actually, unfortunately, so you know that Kanshapara, the regiment had moved to Ramgarh. The tanks moved from Kanshapara. The regiment with the family had moved to Ramgarh, which is, you know, as I told you, near Ranchi. So I went to Ramgarh, met my family and everything, and one day I was taking my elder son for a walk, and we crossed this prisoner of war camp had been established at Ramgarh. And I just stopped there with my son, met the senior JCO there and everyone, and met the Pakis, the Saldar Major also. So I just said hello and everything, and Sugars are, they did their normal. I met him, I said, सब ठीक ठाक है साहब, कोई तकल्लुफ या तकलीफ तो नहीं है यहाँ पे? He said, नहीं साहब, बहुत अच्छा है, कोई हमें कोई गिला शिकवा नहीं है. एक छोटी सी अर्ज है, अगर आप वो सुन लें तो बड़ी मेहरबानी होगी। अच्छा जी, बोलिए, क्या क्या कर सकते हैं आपके लिए? इसी साहब, ये यहाँ पे जो बटालियन है, वो सुबह सुबह उठ के सबसे पहले ये गाना लगा देते हैं, छोड़ दिया जाए कि मार दिया जाए, बोल तेरे साथ क्या सलूक किया जाए। तो इसी साहब, ये गाना हमारे ट्रूप्स को बड़ा अपसेट करता है कि हमें मालूम नहीं कि आप हमें छोड़ देंगे कि मार देंगे। So I said, don't worry, nothing. We follow Geneva Convention. In due course of time, you will be going back to your country, and there will be no problem at all. And I requested the adjutant of that camp. I said, yeah, don't put this song if they get upset. We are doing so much for them. We are looking after them. Why give them a chance to get upset on such a minor issue? They were very sweet. They did not play that song again, I'm told. That is how. Anyway, after my leave, when I reached back the regiment, I was told that the deputy chief had come and you are being posted most likely to IMA. Anyway, I got posted to our school, Armored Course Entrance School. I went there. I was posted as instructor class B in auto wing. And luckily that was the time when the staff college results came. So I went for staff college after having spent about 6 months or 1 year or so in Armored Course Entrance School. I went for staff college. From staff college, then I was posted as BM3 Independent Armored Brigade at Jammu. And that is how it was after that. And then from there, I was posted to JC Wing as a lieutenant. I got promoted, got posted there. 81, then I got posted back to command my regiment and commanded the regiment. That is the time I got given a color presentation by the President of India. We got the colors. And after having done this, I got posted to Armored Course Entrance School for a short period of 3 months. That is because the GOC wanted me there to come there.
Could you talk a bit of what I can say, your interaction with General Jacob? Any anecdote that you can share of your interaction with him, sir? As far as I know, I think you were a major at that time still, and you must have interacted with this general who was, I think, the Chief of Army Staff, one of the Chief of Army
Chief
Staff.
of Staff. General Jacob was Chief of Staff, Eastern Command. Chief of Army Staff is the Chief. Army Chief is only one person.
Okay.
No, I had no interaction with him as a major. He only saw 45 cavalry during the 71 war.
Okay.
But I interacted with him after he had retired and settled down in Calcutta. From College of Combat, I had gone to interview him, and I spent good time talking to him about the 71 war, where he gave me his views and some anecdotes, etc. And then something in a very lighter vein also. I had not met General Jacob when I was a major during the war, but afterwards, I had the pleasure of meeting him when he was GOC 16th Corps, Army Command, Eastern Command. After he had retired, I was sent by College of Combat now during the High Command to go and meet him and interact with him on certain questions that College of Combat had wanted certain clarifications, which he gave me. I jotted them down and gave it back to College of Combat. That is when he had settled down in his flat at Calcutta.
Okay. Another thing, sir, could you briefly talk about your work? I mean, when you were deployed at the I think in Arunachal Pradesh, at that time it was called NEFA. So you were, I think, commanding a brigade at that time. So could you talk a bit about those experiences, sir?
In the meantime, after having spent 3 or 4 months, I went for LDMC course at Secunderabad. From there, I got posted to Jhansi as Colonel GS 31 Armored Div. And from 31 Armored Div, I got promoted and was moved to 77 Mountain Brigade. That is the Chindit Brigade, which is the most famous brigade of Second World War.
77 Mountain Brigade.
The 77 Mountain Brigade.
So, sir, another question. So, you were an armored corps officer. Now you were commanding an infantry brigade. How does that work in the armed forces? This is something I'm not very much aware of, sir.
All right. Anyways, one fine morning when I was going for my normal job, I got a call from the exchange. The exchange JC or somebody rang up and he said, साहब जी मुबारक हो आपके प्रमोशन का आ गया आप 77 माउंटेन ब्रिगेड में जा रहे हैं. So first thing I did was to take off my PT shoes and put on DMS boots. I said, let's start hardening ourselves. So I requested him, I said, please find out where is the 77 Mountain Brigade. I went for my normal jog and everything and I came back. I got the message from him. He said, साहब ये 5 mountain div में है. So in the meantime, our armor div was to be test exercise. We were part of 2 corps. So the GOC sent a letter to the corps headquarters saying that I should be allowed to stay on for a month or 2 before this test exercise is over, which they refused. They said, no, we can't hold back a chap who's going on promotion. And then I moved to Tanga and took over 77 Mountain Brigade. They were at a place called Gacham. It is during this period that certain amount of activities had started taking place. Pakis had established a base at a place called, this was in, Hatungla and Zangla and Thagla Ridge. When you come down, that is the place, Wangdong, sorry, yes. So the Chinese had established a base at Wangdong, which is just across Zangla Ridge. So the brigade was moved off immediately without proper, we are supposed to go through certain stages of familiarization, building up so that you don't fall sick immediately when you go from lower heights to higher heights. So I was pushed there, so we got deployed there. Then of course we had 2 or 3 confrontations with Chinese also. So these 2 camps which they had, Thagla, Wangdong, we could see them sitting just below us. So a few things happened there. Then subsequently, on the 19th, 20th of October, exactly 24 years later, on 19th, 20th October 1962, Chinese had attacked Hathogla, and all these areas, Hathogla, Gompa, all these places had come right up to the plains into Assam. I was ordered on the 1986, on 19th, 20th October, to recapture, stroke or slash reoccupy these areas. So proper fire plan was made and we recaptured all these areas which the Chinese had taken place in 62. There was no fighting as such, but we moved in a proper formation, proper orders were given, everything was tactically done as if it is being held and we have to recapture it. And 8 Madras, the gallant guerrillas did a wonderful job. 9 guards were with me, they did a wonderful job also. They subsequently became a MEC battalion. And 12 Assam, which was where Wangdong is located, they did a beautiful job also. It was a new battalion. They did a very good job also. So I was very lucky that all these 3 battalions were very good. And again, very lucky that my GOC and my co-commander and the army commander were also very nice people. General J.M. Singh from the Guards, he was the GOC. And General Narhari, who was my instructor in South College also from the para-engineers, was the co-commander. And General Puri from the Ati was the army commander. All these 3 were very fine. They gave me all the help because we had to build up all the defenses in those heights after having reoccupied and recaptured them. So there are a lot of problems about supplies. You see, weather used to pack up very frequently. Initially, when we moved, there were no tracks or anything. We had to make tracks. I was being supported by, helicopters or AN-32s would come in whenever the weather was okay. We were at a place called Lumpo, and boys called this as a Lumpo helipad, Lumpo International Helipad. These things also go on in the our army, which pleases everyone and raises morale. So we stayed there and started building slowly, slowly, got in touch with the local civilians, won their confidence, their love, started teaching them. I used my teaching staff to teach the locals certain amount of English, Hindi, maths or whatever it is, because there were no schools or anything. That is how the local people became very fond of us, and they helped us a great deal also. Like when the A32 planes used to come and parachute the loads for us, they would sometimes get drifted away with the wind to places where our troops would find it very difficult to reach. But the locals would reach there and get all the stuff back into us. Those are our rations, sometimes ammunition. So they helped us a great deal also, and that is how we build up a very good relationship with them also. That is how we moved in and made them feel that they are Indian, part of India. Nothing will ever happen again that anybody can come and take our land. That article which you are talking about, that Indian troops kissed the ground, that happened with me when we captured Hatungla and 8 Madras and my production platoon was with me. When we reached there, I went down on my knees to kiss. So they all followed us, they all have kissed and they said, in Hindi they said, कि इसके बाद हम किसी को हिंदुस्तान पे अपना पाँव नहीं रखने देंगे. It was a very touching moment, I should say, touching moment. Why it happened, I really don't know myself. Why I did this, I don't know myself. But it so happened, it happened. That is what it was like this.
And I think for this operation you were given the AVSM, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal.
Yeah, they did it. Very, very sweet of them that they gave me an AVSM after this action. And my GOC and my co-commander also, I think, got PVSM, which they deserved.
So incidents you want to share when you were a Major General, and which division did you command? So if you could talk a bit about that.
After commanding the Mountain Brigade, 77 Mountain Brigade, I was posted as Senior Instructor in Defence Services Staff College, Wellington. This college is one of the most prestigious and reputed colleges in the world. And in this college, we get students from almost over 20 foreign countries, officers, I would say, from UK, USA, Canada, and many other countries come there and in this course for 1 year. And so this is quite an elite kind of a professional college which carries a very, very fine reputation all over the world.
Okay.
One learns a lot here also because the people from countries, they give their side of various technical situations that are discussed there. So one learns a lot how they manage in the army compared to what we do. And that is where improvements take place, changes take place.
Okay, got it.
It was a very fine teamwork. I admire our Indian Army. That when chips are down, how people come up and, help each other so much. I mean, the co-commander would be coming to me every 10, 15 days to ask if I had any problems and would help me. And I still remember one day he and GOC had landed up and he asked me, he said, when did you go on leave? I said, sir, I haven't gone on leave because there is so much of work to be done here. He said, you've been here for over a year, you haven't gone on leave? And your family is just 45 minutes flying time from here. So he ordered me, he said, you will go on leave immediately. So I had a chopper and a Me-17 or Me-8 helicopter. So I went for 2 days. The helipad was just what 25 or 30 yards from my house. I went, spent 2 3 days with my family and flew back because at that point in time, lot of movements were taking place and lot of fear was being created. Those things do happen on occasions like this. The Chinese build-up is taking place and that is taking place. But anyway, nobody took them seriously. And we did our job and we were quite happy. And the only thing was that it was a good day for us that exactly 24 years later, on the day when they attacked, we got hold of these things back to us. And the boys were very happy.
Right, sir.
That is how it is. I got 16th Infantry Div, which was at Ganganagar in Rajasthan, on the Punjab-Rajasthan border. I commanded that, and that itself was a very good experience for me to command a infantry div. Being an armored corps officer, you got a chance to command a mountain div. Now you commanded an infantry div, and it was a good experience. I mean, you learned a lot. You met nice people. You made some good friends. Basically, you learned a lot. That is how it goes. That is how it goes. And it was a wonderful experience being in the Indian Army. I think it's a lovely army. If one is born again, I'll go back to the Indian Army. That's how it is. That's what everyone would, I'm sure, say what I'm saying. Little emotional, but true.
Right, sir. And thank you for your services, for what you have done in the Indian Army and for the liberation of Bangladesh, and also protecting India from one of the strongest aggressors, China. I think you are one of the few people who have fought against, what I can say, both Pakistan and China, and also fighting Pakistan inside Bangladesh. Yeah.
Thank you. They were very kind of you to say all this, but the credit goes to the Indian Army. Basically, we are part of the team.
Right.
And I've been part of the Indian Army's team. Whatever task was given, I feel happy that everything went off well. Never gave anybody a chance to say that we failed. Because this word fail was not there in our literary book which we carry with us, that there's nobody, you don't fail at all, you have to do your job. And God has been kind. There is a war of God also.
Anything else you want to say for youngsters who might want to join the armed forces, sir?
Well, I would say that, people who want to achieve something in life, people who want to be counted, as the saying goes, don't be another brick in the wall. If you just want to be just a brick in the wall and carry on like others, then there are so many avenues open. But if we want to stand out amongst the people and be seen, be recognized, be appreciated, be admired, then the armed forces is the only answer. If you like challenges, and if you're not a mama's boy, and if you have fire in your belly, to the armed forces, where you can do something, achieve something, get a good name for the nation, get a good name for your family, and everything.
Right.
And besides other things, that you improve yourself also. You name a thing, like for example, we were just talking about staff college. In staff college, we get learning people from all over the country. That is where your eyes really and your outlook opens up also.
Okay. That's a very important message, I guess, that youngsters should, what I can say, comprehend and choose the path they should choose in life, I guess.
There are no bhai bandhus and nobody can influence others to promote you or do any such thing. You have to be on your own, prove your worth. Only then go up in the ladder. And in such cases, you get self-satisfaction and you feel proud that you have achieved something on your own and there is nobody else who is pushing you up. So that also gives you a great deal of satisfaction in life.
More you want to add, sir? I would love to hear that.
Well, I can just quote a few little incidents which happen in our life, which bring this smile on everyone's face. If it's okay, I'll just give you an example. When I was doing BM of 3 Independent Armored Brigade in Jammu in 74, 75, there was a time when during the summer, my brigade commander had gone on leave, the deputy had gone on a fortnight to Mao, the DQ had gone on leave. One of our units was doing training and they had requested for a tank transporter. I am sure you must have seen a tank transporter to be sent to them for exercise they were doing that was to recover a tank in battlefield. That was the scenario that was posted. That was to see whether the tank transporter on their own can reach that place and then they have to recover this tank. We have a thing called TCP. At the core TCP, this tank transporter in the night was not allowed to go.
Okay.
So my boys going to see me from there saying, "Saab, hum ye nahi jaane de rahe hain." I tried to explain to this JCO who was in charge of this TCP, it was a TCP established by the court. He won't budge. So I told my boys, I said, you give your number, name, etc., all the details to them. And because sending this is very important. Anyway, so these boys went, came back, and everything finished
Sir,
off.
I can't hear
After
you, sir.
2 days, I was summoned to the corps
Sir, I
headquarters.
can't hear you.
I was called there. I reached there and met the Brigade. I said, "Sir, I've been called here." He said, "Come, the corps commander will see you." I said, "What have I done?" He said, "Well, you come with me." So I was that was General Jacob. And the moment General Jacob saw me, he said, "Wow, 45 cavalry. Is that right?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "How have you come?" So I said, "Sir, I've been summoned here." So the brigadier just, whispered something to him and allowed tank transporter to go in spite of being ordered not to go or being stopped there. I said, "Sir, that is right." He says, "All right, what do you have to say?" I said, "Sir, we were doing an exercise and it is during training a tank transporter was required, it was sent. There's no question of being stopped at the TCP. And if I may say, sir, tank transporter is one which cannot be used for any other purpose than to transport heavy equipment like tanks, dozers, and other things. This vehicle cannot be used for shopping. This vehicle cannot be used for ladies' morning. It cannot be used to take children to the school. And it has no other purpose but to do this kind of a job. And if I may add in lighter vein, even a youngster can't take his girlfriend on a date for outside. At this, the corps commander laughed out. He says, "That's a nice one." So I said, "Well, it is so stopping a vehicle like this to me makes no sense." I said, "The rest is up to you." He smiled at me, he smiled at the brigade, and he said, "All right, Major, you officer." I saluted and I turned back. I just overheard him telling the brigade, we need to relook our orders also. I think what the youngster has said is very right. So that's the army. You can say what you feel like. As long as you are right, nobody says anything to you. So I thought I should share this with you. People who've seen a tank transporter, people who've seen all this, they'll appreciate this. Otherwise, there are so many other instances we can carry on, but I don't suppose that's the purpose of our little discussion today. Otherwise, there are so many things that happen in a soldier's life, especially if you've done 36 years active service, 3 years NDA, 1 year IMS. They've been in uniform almost for 40 odd years. So, there's so many lovely things happen. There are so many good things which you always remember when you put your head on the pillow in the night. All these things come and revisit you, and you think of those lovely days, lovely friends, lovely people you met. Like you meet some very nice, good people in life who leave a kind of impression on you forever.
And if you could talk a bit about your
Excuse
family,
me.
sir, about
All right. Yeah, my wife, her name is Manu. I have two sons. The elder one is a doctor, head of department ophthalmology at Christian Medical College in Ghana. My younger son is in the Merchant Navy. He's at this moment in Brazil. He's married. My younger son is married to General Kapoor, one of our very senior Army Corps officers. His daughter named Prajna. She is a wonderful Army girl, absolutely. I would say she is in twin roles. She is our daughter, she is our daughter-in-law. And I have two grandsons. Both are studying in Gurgaon in Sun City School, where they have good opportunity for good sports and everything. And with God's grace, they're both shaping well. That's a small family I have. The eldest son is not married. He doesn't want to get married. That's it. So everything went off well. And thanks to you all also, you people, my Indian brothers and sisters, siblings admired us so much and gave us so much of motivation and made us feel proud. We are proud of you guys also.
Right, sir. It's wonderful, sir, talking to you. It's really wonderful talking to you, sir. And it has always been my pleasure to talk to you. And finally, it's a really good pleasure to see you.
Yeah, same here, Debu. You are a handsome guy. Don't show my picture too long. People won't see it otherwise.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, bye. God bless.
Bye, sir.
All the
Please
best.
take care.
All the best.
Thank you again
Do
for
the
what you
same.
have done.
Same to you, Debu. Give our regards to your family, please.
I will, sir.
So before ending the video, I would like to share with you all the message that Major General PK Batra has given to his beloved unit, the 45 Cavalry Regiment. Please listen to his emotional message here.
To my 45 cavalry. कल खेल में हम हो न हो, गर्दिश में तारे रहेंगे सदा। भूलोगे तुम, भूलेंगे वो, पर हम तुम्हारे रहेंगे सदा। God bless you.